Drive to highlighted route.
I spy with my little eye something blue.
This summer, enjoy your family road trip even more. See your Carolina Ford dealer for great offers on a new Ford SUV.
Denim is in demand at Plato's Closet in West Ashley and North Charleston. Get cash on the spot for everything denim. Bring in your trendy and classic styles of gently used name brand denim. Get paid for your denim shorts, skirts, jackets, jeans, and more. We're looking for denim that is blue, black, or a bold color. And jeans in styles like mom jeans, bootcut, baggy, flared, and ripped. We want everything denim. Sell your denim for cash at Plato's Closet today. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.
This is a podcast from Minute Media.
Hashtag no music, no intro. We are back. We got things to talk about today. We can talk about these things without there being like this whole. There's still. Let me walk that back. There still is a dark cloud, just more morose feeling over the Saints after everything that happened with 22, but we're trying to look forward to the season. So the first two big things I want to talk about. First big thing is that as of today, I'm recording this podcast on the 21st of March. Shout out to my baby girl who turns 12 years old today. Life's fucking crazy. It fucking flies. That Jameis Winston re-signed with the Saints for a deal, 2 years, $28 million, I believe it's $21 million guaranteed. And we haven't gotten like the official numbers out. Like we don't even know if that second year is even like a real year. It might be a ghost year. We don't know any of that yet. We just could only go by off it of the face of what was reported. But that said, they brought Jameis back, so there's not going to be Jimmy G coming to the Saints. There's not going to be Baker Mayfield coming to the Saints. And as soon as I saw 2 years, $28 million, I was like, man, that is bridge quarterback money or bridge quarterback contract for a quarterback. I've not ever seen one.
Oh yeah, that's lower middle class.
That is
even if it's just 1 year, that's like middle class. Like that's what Teddy was getting. It was like 1 year, 21 million. And just the second year is like whatever. That's like Teddy Bridgewater money. Teddy Bridgewater Broncos.
Yeah. I mean that's a great point. I saw that contract and it kind of told, and everyone in my mentions was like, oh, well, actually, it's more of a prove-it deal for Jameis, and if he plays well, then no, stop it. like, I'm sure if Jameis goes and he balls out, balls out, then yeah, like for sure, he's gonna get paid either by the Saints or another team. That's just how it works.
It's just the thing. Good quarterbacks don't need prove-it deals.
Thank you. Like
you ball out, you gonna get paid. Period. Like whatever. Like it don't matter. You ball out, you gonna get paid.
I'm actually trying to pull up the Teddy deal that he signed with the Dolphins. So Teddy signed for the Dolphins for 1 year, $6.5 million. Right. Okay.
His numbers going down since.
Yeah, it has. And Greg got in our mentions and kind of brought up a good point that the bridge quarterback, like below middle tier quarterback money, even that's going up, right? Like this season, that's going up. Mm-hmm. But I saw that deal and I saw the numbers, and the first thought I had was either the Saints are going to try to draft their quarterback of the future this year, may not be round one, but this year in the first round or second round, or maybe try to swing, next free agency, take a big swing at maybe whoever the next disgruntled quarterback is, Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, who knows, right? A lot, as we've seen, a lot can change in 12 months in the NFL real quickly, bro.
Man, in a week.
Bro, I still think about that picture you sent me when the Texans were up on the Chiefs in that playoff game.
Bruh.
Like it was like 21-0 or whatever.
Wherever how much changed since then.
The entire landscape of the NFL's changed since then.
That's crazy.
And that playoff game was what, 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
we have no idea who might be wanting to get traded, quarterback wise. This time next year, hopefully it's a quarterback that doesn't have baggage like the one that the Saints tried to go after. But when you saw that deal, Jameis being back, what are your thoughts in general about the deal and about him being back and being the quarterback for the Saints for the upcoming season?
Oh, well, I mean, when I saw the deal, I was like, that's like a perfect deal for Jameis Winston. I mean, we'll see what the particulars are as far as like, incentives and how it stretches out over 2 years and stuff. But my whole thought was like, no way Jameis coming back. I mean, Jameis played for like $1 million his first year. Then his second year, he played for like basically $1 million plus incentives, which he wound up making like a couple million. But then he got hurt, which screwed him over. So I just say ain't no way he coming back making less than Taysom, at least on 1 year. You know what I'm saying? Like just as a man, like how could you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like how could I Taysom here, probably not even a starting QB, and I'm supposed to come here and make less than him? Hell no. So, when I saw the deal, I was like, okay, they did good. The Saints did good because, they didn't get into a bidding war with anybody, it seems like. And, and Jameis got paid. He got a nice little security coming off an ACL injury. And he could ball out this year and get paid by, Saints or someone else. Or he can have like just a solid season and, still make good money. So I was really fine with the deal. I didn't really react tough to it. I was just like, man, about time they do something because, like, they ain't done nothing since that Deshaun Watson thing fell through. They ain't done nothing, bro. Like it's been radio silent.
It's been embarrassing, like honestly, and maybe this wasn't the plan, or this is not the intention, but it on the optics, it appears that they had put everything in to getting Watson. Everything in. And when that didn't happen, because remember, if you remember the reports that came out for like days, the Saints were in the lead, the Saints are the favorites, blah, 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 blah. Even regardless of, we're not going to regurgitate that, but regardless of how you felt as a fan of if you wanted the Saints to trade for Deshaun Watson or not, if you had followed the Saints closely enough over the years, we have been through this fucking ordeal so many times, bruh. First, it was Ndamukong Suh. Then it was Jadeveon Clowney. Then it was Odell when he got cut. Now it was Watson. Granted, you and I, and a good portion of Saints Twitter didn't want Watson, although some parts of Saints Twitter did want Watson. The result all ends up the same. They don't get their guy. Who was, if you just think about who was the last big person that the Saints wanted desperately that he got, it's probably Jarius Byrd, if we're just being honest.
I don't even know if we were like courting him. We just overpaid him.
That's it. Right? So the optics is that as soon as that Watson deal didn't happen, they kind of seemed like they didn't know what the fuck to do. Honestly, like, it was like, well, fuck, bro. Like, now what? And I have no problem with Jameis being back. I've said this me and you have said this numerous times on this podcast. We don't think Jameis is the guy. He's not a franchise quarterback. He's a stopgap, and he could be a good option / bridge for the next quarterback. But if you're bringing Jameis back, the way that they have neglected the offense
Right.
This entire offseason has been of malpractice and criminal. Like, they have not signed a single guard. They haven't signed a single wide receiver. They haven't signed a single tight end. And now, like, this is, you tweeted it earlier today, like, now it's like bargain bin shopping. I'm going through the list, Ryan. Like, these are, like, the place in, the what is it? The liquidation store, bro? This is the liquidation store on Wednesday.
On 50 Cent Day.
Nigga, this is Wednesday. Like, the new shit they coming on Thursday, so there is nothing out there.
On Wednesday, they tell you just bring a garbage bag and just fill it up. And just and you just pay $5.
Just take what you want, bro. Like,
take what you want.
This is what, like, I'm going through the wide receivers, before we recording this podcast, and I was like, is there something, like, maybe, like, there's not much out there at any position. Even, like, the smart little moves that the Saints could have made, they could have fucking signed James Washington, bro. Nah, he signed with the Cowboys, like, on a cheap little 1-year deal.
That's what kills me, bro. I've seen some of these deals. I'm like, what? That's it?
That's it.
Not even just the free agents, even like the trades, Like,
yes.
I mean, Robert Woods, I know he get paid a little, chunk, but come on, man. The Saints, come on, man. We know we can work that number. The
contract could have been worked. I do think because how much he was respected by the Rams, I do think they did approach Robert Woods and kind of said, hey, if we're trading you, and he kind of had like maybe like a list of teams, or he gave. So I think, again,
I can see that. Yeah.
So that's what I believe what happened with him. But I'm going through this list. AJ Green, the best option at wide receiver that they have that they could sign, that's young, it could come in. He's a very kind of inconsistent player, but Aaron Rodgers loved him, is Marcus Valdez-Scantling. He's 27. It says on Spot Track his market value is about $8 million a year. Can they bring in somebody? You know what, bro? Today was the first time I walked into work where I didn't have to wear a mask since last March, or since 2 years marches ago. Can we get Cole Beasley in the building? Someone, please. Like, what are we doing? So is their plan really going to be, and they're banking on the health of Michael Thomas, and they're going to say, I know that at some point they're going to get a wide receiver in the draft. Knowing us, it's probably not going to be round 1, but they'll get one in round 2 or round 3. And is their line of thinking is that we're going to run it back with basically like the same group of characters and expect the offense to be better than what it was last year when your starting running back's probably going to miss 6 to 8 games? Is this what we're going to do? Because
it's looking like it. Yeah. I mean, because I haven't even seen them like mention, trying to get other wide receivers. So I just wonder if they even just they said they're just going to punt on as far as like that position in free agency, or they either missed the window, because I mean, just honestly, it moved real quick. Like
it did.
They was getting scooped up early.
And what were they doing? They were googly-eyed for serial abusers.
Exactly.
They got left in the dust. And I brought this up on the podcast, right? I love teams that see what their weakness is and they address it. The Bengals, these moves might work out for the Bengals, but they signed 3 offensive line. 3. They said, what happened in the Super Bowl? It ain't gonna happen again. Just like the Chiefs, when their offensive line failed against the Bucks, they went out and got 3 completely different offensive line. They said it's not gonna happen again. The Rams, who just won the Super Bowl, have a top 3 wide receiver in Cooper Kupp on their team. And they say, you know what? Let's go get Allen Robinson. Let's go get Matt Stafford another weapon. so he can cook some more. We can continue to run our offense. And it's like, it feels like we're just in a different league offensively, bro. I was like, can we get Rashad Penny from the Seahawks? You know, get him on a little deal. We're going to be missing a running back. He showed great, you know, when he was healthy, he showed great burst. He looked dominant for like 4 or 5 games last season, bro. I was like, God damn. Nope, he went back to Seattle on like a little $5 million deal. Now, okay, so I want to say this, right? We don't know if the Saints have tried to sign these players and these players just chose to sign with other teams. But typically when that happens, usually how the reporting in the NFL works, they usually put like a little tidbit of like, you know, there were offers from whatever team, but player X chose to blah, blah. We haven't seen this. We haven't seen him linked to one offensive player except fucking Deshaun Watson, and they just re-signed Jameis.
They tendered Hardy, Dante Hardy.
I thought you about to say they tendered little Jordan Humphrey, bro.
They brought back little Jordan. I was like, why even tweet that? Like, don't even tweet that shit. Back, you know, and they signed 2 defensive players. You got Marcus May, and you got the rear breaker. What's his name? Street.
Oh yeah,
Streets. K Street.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just seems like they had their defensive guys kind of, you know, penciled in who they wanted. But as far as offense, man, it's like they're like, shoot, you know, bro. It's not. I'm telling you, they're gonna bring back Traquan.
I'm gonna list these.
Traquan's gonna be the mirror version of PJ Williams. I'm telling you.
Well, speaking of PJ, they need to fucking bring PJ back. But if he has the late, like the peak PJ, like PJ used to get roasted by us, by Saints Twitter. He was the the butt of many jokes, and he turned his career around. Can Traquan do that?
I'm done. Get me off that boat.
I'm gonna list these names: Julio Jones, Jarvis Landry, Will Fuller, T.Y. Hilton, Cole Beasley, Emmanuel Sanders, A.J. Green, Sammy Watkins, Albert Wilson, Deshaun Jackson. Bruh, Danny Amendola was making some plays last season for the Texans. He had like a 2-3 touchdown game last season. Anyone. Just one.
I mean, I like Cole Beasley.
Man, I like him too, although I think he would be like a terrible fit with Jameis.
I really do. Like, I just, it's hard to really know with Jameis, man, because, man, it's like everything he does is like, even when he was with Tampa, I remember talking about this before, like his average depth of targets always 10 plus yards and more. So, but it was hard for me to know if that was just Bruce Arians or, you know, just the way the offense, because, you know, Tom Brady's the same way now. You know, since he went to Arians, you know, his average depth of target is like 9 yards or more for who he throws to, as far as wide receivers anyway. And when Jameis got here, his ADOT went down a little bit, but it was still higher than Drew Brees ever's been, ever. So it's like, I don't know how much of that. I mean, obviously some of that is him. So it's like, what kind of wide receivers do you get? Because the offense really isn't predicated off that. That's why it was kind of weird seeing him in the offense, because it never was really a sustaining offense with him.
No, man.
But he did hit like just some of the biggest plays we'd ever, you know, just when he did make plays, it was like big plays. But between that, it was like nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I think Cole Beasley is at least somebody who's played with like a big arm quarterback who could, you know, kind of figure it out. And then you get Michael Thomas back who could kind of do all of it. And you got, you know, Hardy who could stretch. And I would love, I mean, I don't know, man, how you feel about Julio, bro? Because part of me wants to bet on the upside of like,
yes,
a Hall of Fame type, you know, player.
Don't care.
That's just
I get it.
You know.
I get it. He's old. He doesn't practice. He got some hamstrings. I'm
telling you, if you go back and watch the 2 games he did play last year for the Titans, even the ones where he didn't put up numbers, but just watch him move. He moved good, bro. He was moving. It's just I don't know. He didn't have no chemistry with Tannehill and hadn't been practicing much.
I mean,
he probably wouldn't even do the same.
He's definitely lost a step, right?
Of course. Of course, he's not 2016 Julio, but he's still a big target that can get downfield. And
I think that's what Jameis needs, man.
I want him a big target, man, not these little shifty type guys. He need a big target, man, that'll go up and get it, bro. And I would like to bet on the upside. Obviously, the contract will be a major thing because players like him, if they don't want to get off the bus unless you're paying them, $10 million or whatever at least. It got to be double digits. And I don't know about all that, but it's a call I would make just to see. So I would try to bring him in, and obviously MVS will make a plenty of sense, man, because he's like a better Traquan.
Oh yeah, he's a field stretcher.
He's a field stretcher. He's put up yards. Obviously, he played with a great quarterback. But with what Jameis does, he could still put up numbers.
Oh yeah. So let's just. Where are the Saints' current wide receivers? And I have them as right now. They are a bottom 3 wide receiver group in the NFL.
Gotta be.
But I will.
Who's behind them?
The Packers.
Yeah.
And I had the team. It just left.
The Falcons.
Yeah, the Falcons. That's it. Packers and Falcons.
The Falcons have Kyle Pitt, which is it's not a wide receiver, but he's a wide receiver.
Yeah, but the Packers don't got nobody, bro.
The Packers ain't got nobody.
They got Alan Lazard, and that's it. Unless they bring back Valdez Scandal. But I know Aaron Rodgers is heated as a motherfucker right now, bro.
Is he though? Because I don't know.
You know what's gonna happen, right? You already know what's gonna happen. The Packers are going to draft Jameson Williams at 22.
You think so?
It's written, bro.
It's because Bucket Brooks, he's ordinate that they do not draft wide receivers in the first round. But I'm like, man, do you see your wide receiver core?
Yeah, Spider-Man meme. Packers wide receivers and our wide receivers just looking at each other like the same thing, bro. I was thinking a couple of days a day ago or 2 days ago, I said the Lions have a better, they got Aron St. Brown, who the Saints could have drafted in the 4th round, but they didn't, and DJ Chark. I would bet on that. And here's what is annoying me as a fan who gets people in my mentions all the fucking time now. It's fucking curse getting more followers. Everyone's banking on Michael Thomas just being Michael Thomas.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm saying that banking and thinking that a player that really hasn't played football to his full ability in 2 years is gonna just come back and just be gangbusters and offensive player of the year type is fucking pushing it.
Well, it's like they think he has some kind of mind over matter ability because he's a super competitive dude. There's no question about his work ethic and what he's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? But it's man, your ankle was he had a bad ankle injury,
terrible ankle injury,
really bad. He had 3 surgeries, right? 3 or 4, at least 2 surgeries and a couple cleanups.
Yep.
So you just don't know with that stuff. Colston was one of the most competitive wide receivers ever, and his knees were linguini, bro. They just was gone. You know what I'm saying? It just was gone after a couple years. So I mean, we just don't know what we don't know what we're gonna get from Michael Thomas. We don't know, But he's always gonna be a tough hands guy. He's always gonna compete, But you don't know if you have no idea. To think we're gonna get 2019 149 catch Michael Thomas is kind of crazy to believe that. You know?
Yeah, it is.
It could happen. It could happen, but it's kind of crazy to believe that after what went down with him. So we have, like I always said, you got to approach this offseason as if season E doesn't exist. They're not doing that. I mean, Dennis Allen going out to visit him, to get to know him better and all this shit. They restructured his contract, big cap money, so he's like locked in, at least for the next 2 years. So they're not approaching the offseason like that at all. Like, fuck my advice. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are dependent on Michael Thomas being Michael Thomas. And I hope it's true, bro. I hope it comes true.
Yeah, because if he's a couple of notches below, not looking good, man. Just the whole situation not looking good. I'm looking at available tight ends. Like there's some still decent tight ends that are available. I titled this Zoom meeting for this episode, What's the Vision Part 3? Because I know we've said it numerous times, but I don't know what the vision is of this team. We were sold when Dennis Allen became the head coach, continuity, keeping the identity and culture together, et cetera, all that, right?
Oh, yeah.
One of the first things that happens is that a 25-year-old star free safety with elite range that allowed his defense to be what it was is let go. And I'm not saying that Marcus May is not a good player. When he was healthy, he was a good player. He's a very different player than Marcus Williams. But the reality is he's coming off a torn Achilles and he has a DUI. So he's going to miss probably 2 to 3 games before the season starts. So he's gone. Sorry, Marcus Williams gone. And then they tried to make this huge blast to get this quarterback and kind of have the future, kind of set at quarterback and make themselves a contender with Watson. And in doing so, all their courting, showing their ass, sitting on their hands, end up then getting him. And it just seems like a team that's just I won't say in flux, but I had a conversation with a friend about this recently. Man, this looks like a 6 to 9 win team at max.
I mean, it looks like a repeat of last year pretty much so far. How they got better so far?
I feel like it's even worse than last year.
Well, yeah, it's worse because you can't worse than that. It got better yet, and they've lost. They've lost Marcus Williams. Obviously, look, this could change because we're talking right now. It's only really a week in the free agency. Shit. I mean, I know he's not an offensive player. Go get Quine back, man. Like he ain't been mentioned nowhere. Like ain't nobody really been trying to compete for his services. Go get Quine back or something. If you ain't gonna go back and try to rebuild your offense, at least like make sure your defense is like uber solid, like super solid with depth and shit. But it's like we're not even doing that, man. Like
it's just nothing. Just nothing.
Just nothing, man. And again, this could change.
Can we go get fucking? Can we trade a fourth for Saquon and I don't know.
Yeah, like running back. Like the Saints won't have a running back for the first 4 to 6 weeks. They ain't gonna have no running back. You telling me Tony Jones Jr. We going back to that? I don't want to see that shit.
No one does.
And maybe the draft could change things. Maybe they go all offense on the draft. Maybe that's the plan. Maybe they just like we are going all offense, like Carolina did a few years ago with defense. They just gonna hammer offense, knock out defense in free agency. That'd be fun if they do that, but I wouldn't hold my breath. You know what I'm saying? But man, it's it's, you just look at that side of the ball. Even, not even the skill position, offensive line. So Ryan Armstead, we hadn't talked about yet.
Probably.
Did he sign to the Dolphins, or is it still kind of?
They haven't signed, but it seems like they're in heavy negotiations to get the contract worked out.
Right. So, Teron's going to be gone. I wonder if old Reed's feelings a little hurt.
Please let them be hurt. Please. You know what he should do just to show how hurt he is? Demand a trade, just like Matt Ryan did.
Please. Hey, can we talk about the Falcons, man?
We I was saving that. I was saving best for last on that, buddy.
Oh, okay.
And I tweeted it, but both the Saints and the Falcons were just absolutely dumb as organizations for going after Deshaun Watson. We've gone over that before, but the Saints got played badly. Falcons got played even worse because the Falcons weren't even in the initial conversation with teams. Like, they were not listed initially.
No.
Deshaun Watson literally reached out to the Falcons because he is from Georgia, and he expressed to them that he potentially would want to come to Atlanta. So then that sets in motion all these gymnastics, Quavo, who after blank, whatever, all these pandering to him, stroking his ego. And in doing so, they kind of reconstructed or pushed back a date when they had to decide about a bonus for Matt Ryan. And the quarterback that literally had led them to the Super Bowl, had won an MVP. I get that Saints fans were supposed to hate Matt Ryan, but in terms of like being like a professional and the face of a team, he has done that for the Falcons to the utmost degree. And you were trying to bring in a guy who had 22 sexual misconduct allegations, and he gets alienated to the point where he was just like, fuck y'all, like, get me out of here. And so the Falcons traded to the Colts today for a third-round pick, and they incur a $40 million dead cap hit.
Man.
There is poverty. The Saints, let's be real, the Saints are pretty close to poverty, at least offensively right now. And then there is poverty.
That's bankruptcy. Like, that's
Enron, bro. Like, it's Greg tweeted it. Like, the Falcons easily have the one of the worst teams in football, if not the worst roster in football. They signed Marcus Mariota. We got the little the whole Greg Rosenthal and Chris Wessling in the NFC debate with the Saints and the Falcons. They signed Marcus Mariota, and what's annoying about all of this, I tweeted it today, and I said sometimes it's better to be lucky and having a higher draft pick than being smart. Yeah. All this shit has happened. It takes one draft pick. They could draft Kenny Pickett. They can draft Malik Willis. And if one or two of those picks work out and they get their quarterback of the future,
all good.
It's that simple.
That $40 million cap hit, dead money they take this year, it's cap hit next year.
It would essentially, if they drafted a rookie, if they drafted Willis or Pickett, and that pick is good, that rookie contract essentially cancels that negative $40 million in cap space or dead cap hit.
Yeah.
It's like a net zero.
That's what's killing me about the Saints, though, because if you look at what they paid for Jameis last year and what they're paying this year, essentially they're on a rookie QB deal. Now, look, Jameis is not a rookie QB. He doesn't come with the upside of a rookie QB where you think. But if you just look at production-wise, what he's giving you, it's about, what you would expect from a up-and-coming quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, take advantage of that, man. Like, you getting to operate with a quarterback that's not demanding $30, $40 million a year. You could cook like build this damn team while you can.
It's just weird. Like, bro, the Chiefs signed Juju Smith-Schuster. Like, we have so many good teams that have good offenses / good offensive players. And what have we talked about, man? You just build on that. You just flood the team, flood your quarterback with weapons.
How long we've been screaming that for so long? We were saying flood Drew Brees with weapons. I mean, way back when he was with the team. But nope. We had to watch him battle Mahomes with fucking Lil Jordan Humphrey and Juwan Johnson. Still one of the saddest games I've ever watched in my life. Sad.
Think about this, bro. You remember that Bucks game that they won Halloween? Fucking Trevor Siemian throwing to fucking Kevin White.
Kevin White, man. One catch.
To this day, if you look at the wide receiver room during the season and look at it now, it's the exact same except Traquan is a free agent, bro.
It's worse. It's worse. Didn't get better. It was already bottom of the league and it's worse.
I know people are at one point like, you guys are just negative. You got listen. We just call.
I don't want to be.
Just call it like it is, man.
Like, man, I want to be happy this free agency, man. I wanted some new gifts under the Christmas tree, bro. You don't want to be breaking down some tape of, I don't know, James Washington or something. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that.
Nah, bro. We got Olivia Bitts' SVU card under the Christmas tree. Like, what? I gotta call Liv?
I'm looking up the difference between sexual assault versus sexual this and all that. I don't want to do that.
Gotta get Tutu on the phone, bro. Too much. But yet, I will say this. They did get a defensive tackle. That has been a position that they've needed to add to. And Street may be a player where he may have a Tano be like a Tano-like signing. So I remember when we signed Tano last season, I was like, all right, like I liked him as a prospect. I liked him okay as a prospect. He went to Kansas City, was like a starter, but he didn't have like too much of like a career. And then like when he was healthy early in the season, man, he was balling. And that kind of like, there are things that the Saints do with their pro personnel sometimes that is immaculate, right? The Tano signing is an example of that. Demario Davis is a huge example of that. We can go back. Obviously, it's not the same staff and it's not the same people doing it, but we can go back to the signing of Jabari Greer. Like in Buffalo, he was like a decent corner, but we went out.
Sometimes they look into it. Like,
yes.
Sometimes they miss on the guy they target. Maybe they were targeting like Paul Kruger. Trying to pay him big money. We missed out, and I can't forget who they signed after that. But sometimes it just works out in their favor for whatever reason because they just, can't match a deal or they wind up getting like a second tier, third tier free agent. Sometimes it just works out, and it's happened quite a bit for the Saints as far as their free agents. You know what I'm saying? So it's sometimes you just got to look at it and be like, okay, maybe their production hadn't been outstanding, but K Streets get him with Ryan Nielsen. Man, maybe they could do something, man, because the defensive line, there are some players there.
Yeah.
You got two first, Marcus Davenport, you got Cam Jordan, Peyton Turner, still a question mark, but he has upside. They brought Shia Tuttle back, but they really need a defensive tackle that can come in and do something. And there's still some DTs out there. I don't know if they go that route, but Sue's still out there. Sheldon Richardson, A couple other players out there.
Sheldon Rankins still might be out there too.
Sheldon Rankins, I'm sure he out there. Like, no break out there. I mean, Akeem Hicks still out there. Shoot, I bring Hicks back.
Sure is.
I'm like, sometimes like do something like, okay, if you want to just ignore offense, okay, well, just make like the best fucking defense you can. Like, just make have like an 8-man rotation on the defensive line or something. Like, just do something. Shit.
Something. Please do something. And people will be like, well, when they signed Jameis today, yeah, they were they going to go into the draft with Taysom Hill coming off a Liz Frank injury as like their number one option? Like, them getting a quarterback was just a matter of time. More right. So,
it's like that was always penciled in. It was just like, okay, but it just okay, it solidifies an answer there, and to me, and it should be Jameis 100%, unless they bring in like a Kenny Pickett, you know what I'm saying? But it should be Jameis 100% going into camp, no stupid competition with Taysom Hill and nothing like that. Like, let the dude cook with whoever we bring in their wide receiver. Let him develop that chemistry and all that stuff, and let him be him and own it. You know what I'm saying? As far as the draft, though, do you think?
It's funny you said that. I'm looking at I literally pulled up the draft list as you were talking, like the order.
So, I mean, of the QB needy teams in the top 10, there's Detroit. Nobody really thinks Detroit's picking a quarterback at 2. You got Carolina and you got the Falcons now.
And you got Seattle.
And you got Seattle. All of them in the top 10, right?
Yes.
So
it's good.
It's just hard to know.
I don't see it. I think all the moves that have been made have made it. If that was their plan, if the Saints' plan were to draft their quarterback of the future in this draft, and hoping maybe one slipped maybe out of the top 10, and then they could have jumped from 18 to high, 18 to like 11, 12, or 13 to get them, I think that's gone. Like,
so do you think those teams are drafting quarterbacks?
I think the pinpoint on the draft in terms of for the Saints, it comes at 6. I really do. With Carolina, Dave Tepper missed out on Stafford. He missed out on Watson. I think Dave Tepper is going to say, fuck this. I'm not missing out on the guy again. You're kind of being viewed as a laughing stock because you could have had your quarterback last season. You could have had Mac Jones. You could have had Justin Fields. You take a fucking corner instead. So I think I don't know, man. I get a Kenny Pickett to Carolina Phil at 6, and at 8, I would not be shocked if the Falcons took Malik Willis at 8.
Yeah. No, absolutely. He's a Georgia kid.
Yep.
So I can definitely see that.
And then you would have 2 teams in the NFC South that have their quarterbacks of the future. We don't know if they're going to pan out or not, but 2 quarterbacks that I really like. Yeah, Tampa Bay with Tom Brady, and then you have the Saints with Jameis. Now, that's not to say, like, in round 2, they honestly, round 2, if they don't get their quarterback in round 1, in round 2, these dudes need to be trying to find a way to get a Desmond Riddler,
I'll take Desmond.
Sam Howell. Like, one of those needs to happen. I think, to your point about their picks, so people who are listening, we're gonna do an episode strictly. We're gonna do like we did one last season where it's just a mock simulator. We're gonna do another one of those episodes as the draft gets closer because it's almost a month away. But it would be so nice and refreshing to see them just go offense heavy in this draft, bro. Just to see
it would
just for them. So And I say that.
It's the injection of life. The injection of life in the offense.
And I say that.
50% ain't going to work out, but that would be so nice.
Knowing that at 18, I say they should go offense, and it's going to be like an offensive tackle.
Probably so.
It is what it is, bro. I want, like you said, I want some spice. I want that PS5 on the Christmas tree.
PS5, man.
Need it, bro. Can I get? And at this point, bro, I don't. You name any wide receiver that's in the first round.
Yes.
I don't even like Drake London that much. Don't care. Yes. Garrett Wilson. Yes.
I haven't seen a wide receiver that I hate yet. Like I just I don't want.
Yes.
Maybe the Purdue kid I don't love.
Oh, Purdue. Who's that Purdue?
I forget it. David Bell, I think.
Oh, David Bell. Yeah.
I watched some of him and I was just like, as soon as I saw him, I was like, man, Sean Payton will love him. Get him out of my face. He just looks like Drew Brees. I don't know, man. Something about him. I was like, I don't want him. But
I will say,
I don't care.
Back to your point though, about them being able to draft a quarterback. I do think a lot of those moves that if those quarterbacks, so let's say quarterbacks go with 6 and 8, Carolina and Atlanta, which would be fucking sucky for the Saints. Like if Carolina and the Falcons both draft their quarterback of the future in this draft and they end up being good, but if they do, I think we will see a big drop in the receivers in the draft.
Oh yeah, you gonna have your pick.
Like by the time the Saints get to 18, the Saints should have their pick at wide receiver. And if you just go, and I'm going through the teams, the first receiver I can see coming off the board would be at 10 to the Jets. I can see the Jets going wide receiver because they have the 4th pick. So I can see the Jets going either corner or edge rusher at 4, and then at 10 getting a wide receiver, or I can see them going offensive line again. I think Washington would be a threat to potentially go wide receiver as well. I don't know if they will. They got Scary Terry. They paid Curtis Samuel a shit ton of money, and he did shit with them last season. But then, so I'm just going to list the teams that I can see going wide receiver. You have Seattle not Seattle. You have the Jets at 10. You have potentially Washington at 11. You have the Texans at 13. I don't think I could see Baltimore going wide receiver, but it also wouldn't shock me. They just took one last year in the first round, Rashad Bateman at 27. But I don't know, man. It just wouldn't shock me.
If anything, they trade back.
Yeah. So Texas at 13, and then the Eagles at 15 or 16 could go wide receiver. And then I don't think the Chargers are going wide receiver because of they just got Mike Williams. And like the Saints, they will have their selection of whoever they want at wide receiver at 18, bro.
Man.
Selection.
And it would be such a Saints move for us to have our selection.
Jordan Davis.
And they go Jordan Davis or they go OT. It just feels like it's gonna happen.
So just know I would be draft credentials are applied for. Not only are the draft credentials applied for, I actually put down like for us to be like in a little like the media room so we could have like a table to like actually record, like do a live stream and record from the actual draft. We'll see if we get granted all that or whatever. But whatever happens after draft, Ryan and I will be there. We will be having fun with our family, and we're gonna recap it all. And it's probably gonna be a shit show because we know how the story ends. But I wanna leave round 1 on Thursday, and as soon as I get back to the Airbnb, I want to pull up my laptop, go to YouTube,
Yeah.
And just put in that wide receiver name, bro. Even if I've already watched the tape before, bro, I can already see it.
You can really focus in.
Yeah, like just nitty gritty and be like, oh yeah, like I can see how they can be used in this. I want to feel that again. Last time I probably felt that was with AK, bro.
Bro,
that was 2017. A little
crazy.
bit with Traquan, his tape was like, oh, Traquan can really run.
That's about it. That's it. Like, we get downfield. All right.
Ain't got no moves or nothing. Got no route running.
Straight down, 9 routes all day.
But not only do I want to feel that excitement, but the way that this front office has neglect, and we've said it before, the way this front office has continued to neglect their skill positions has been absolutely criminal. Like, it continues to be criminal for what we've seen early on in free agency. It just lacks a lot of confidence, and we need more. We need, as fans, we need more. Can y'all give us like a you know what? We went after Deshaun Watson. Here's a Cole Beasley and another tight end poo-poo platter. Like something.
AJ Green at this point, man. Damn. Something, bro.
That man's starving.
Starving, bro. You got 800 some yards last year, man. Chop off, bro. I take it.
I mean, to be fair, like AJ Green is exactly the type of wide receiver that Jameis needs. Like,
right.
Get downfield, throw it up. AJ hopefully will catch it on the jump ball. Like, I don't know, man. But I truly meant what I said.
Okay.
I truly meant what I said earlier as we wrap this up. Is this feels like a 6-win team, 9-win team at most.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, absolutely. At most 9.
At most 9. NFC's taking a lot of hits, right? NFC's taking a lot of hits. It's not a strong conference like it was, man. Like if you just go down the list, like it's like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. But like you start thinking about who the elite quarterbacks is in the NFC, bro.
And that just underscores my point. Why we should be tooling up.
Tooling up, bro. You got Aaron Rodgers, you got Tom Brady, you got Stafford. And you got Dak. And however you may feel about Kyler. That is it, bro.
I wish Drew Brees had that his 10-year.
Nah. Nope. Couldn't be us. But like that is so if you're not gonna have a star quarterback, man, at least have the rest. Like, and I've said it, like build a team like fucking Broncos did. Now their defense got a little old and a little overrated, but can someone, if anyone listens to this, just go look back at that fucking Broncos draft where they said our offense is big shitty. Like, we need to fix this. I'm trying to pull up what draft it was. So 2 years ago? Because you said it, right? You said, you know, the offense should go heavily in terms of wide receiver. So for them to, I'm going to pull up the draft. He got drafted in 2020. I'm going to pull up the draft that the Broncos had in 2020. The Broncos drafted Jerry Jeudy at 15. They drafted KJ Hamler in the second round, 2 wide receivers. Round 1, round 2. They said, we need weapons. Let's go fix that in the draft. Third round, they went cornerback. They also got their center. I think they drafted Noah Fant somewhere in this draft too. Can we have something similar to that where it's just acknowledged like we like the offense needs some juice I don't think we're asking for a lot, man.
I mean, what we got? We got what, 4 picks in the top 101 or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, give me 2 wide receivers. Give me 2 wide receivers, a running back and a quarterback, or 2 wide receivers, a tight end and a running back, or 1 wide receiver, a tight end, a OT, and a running back. Like, just man, give this offense some life, man. Like, give it some life, man. Just give it some life, some fresh blood. Because if you hit, like, oh man, you cooking.
Because if you hit, and if the defense, even if we don't expect the defense to be as it has been the last 2 seasons, but if it hits and the defense is like even a couple of notches below what it's been in an NFC, that's enough to at least get you to the game, bro. Like, get you to the dance. And then, like we talked about before, man, you see, Kyler Murray or maybe Aaron Rodgers see a team with Michael Thomas and whoever this new stud rookie wide receiver is in the round 1, round 2, and they're like, oh shit, Saints cooking.
Maybe Jared start getting, ready to get Dak out of there. Maybe Dak. I mean, you never know. You just never know what happens in this league. You know what I'm saying?
Never know. This league feels like Dan
and Baker Mayfield still a shoe that's going to drop. We'll see how that.
Yeah, I was talking about with my girl. I was like, I don't know where Jimmy G and Baker go, bro.
No, man.
Looking bleak out there.
But if one of them dudes go to either Atlanta, Seattle, or Carolina, I mean, that just checks another box off as far as who's going to take a QB in the top 10. And a lot of people don't think any of these quarterbacks going in the top 10. That'll be interesting if that doesn't happen. That'd be interesting. Like,
man, if I would say if Willis and Pickett drop off of top 10, bro, we're gonna be in Vegas. I might feel strongly enough. I'm not saying that they both will be going to the top 10, but I will put money on it that at least one of them will go in the top 10. Mm-hmm. I don't like gambling usually. We've talked about this. I hate the way, but I will put legit money that one of these quarterbacks are going top 10. It's just going to happen, man. I'm just telling you. Now, if it doesn't, then they need to be on the fucking phone. Making some calls, trying to get up. Has to happen. If you're willing to trade three first-round picks for a quarterback that had 22 sexual abuse or sexual assault allegations, if you're not willing to give up a future first to move up from 18 to like 11 or 12 or whatever it may cost to get your quarterback of the future, then you got shit fucked up. You got shit messed up. Big time. But that said, we wanted to have an episode recap of the moves that has kind of happened, recap the moves that have not happened. More importantly, hopefully there'll be some movement. There'll be some bargain bin shopping. We can get a wide receiver, tight end. That tight end list from free agency, like, that's exhaustive, bro. Like, there's a lot of tight ends out there, like a lot. Can we get Jimmy back? Just bring Jimmy home, man. He can still with some jump balls.
Tom Payton ain't here no more,
but Jimmy Graham's out there, Eric Ebron, Kyle Rudolph, Jared Cook.
Kyle Rudolph, shit.
Jared Cook, I know. Say Twitter going insane, bro. At this point, bro, give me fucking Jared. You know who would be a good sneaky signing as I see him as a free agent, and he was off to getting probably paid, and a lot of it probably was offense and some of it was Aaron Rodgers, but he appeared to be a damn good player, an ascending player. Robert Tonyan, bro. Green Bay tight end. He got that injury. I don't know if it was Achilles or it was ACL, but he tore something this season, and then he was out for the rest of the season. But this is kind of one of those like Jameson Williams moves, bro, where like you sign him and he may not have like an impact that you're looking for immediately, but like if he comes back healthy, like he was looking good with the Packers before he
was. I remember he was.
And he's only 27. Like he's a free agent.
Those are those type of deals that that could work out for you.
But no,
it wouldn't cost you much either.
It wouldn't. You could do it. You could, and I would sign him to a 2-year deal where he gets some of the money in year one because he probably wants some, some type of, for the injury. You want to be like, hey, I know you were injured. You're probably not going to play a whole bunch of games, but here I'm paying you this money in year one, and then year two, maybe it's a very heavy, like incentive laced contract where there's a lot of marks that he could hit to like reach the full level of the second year. Something, man. It's like Kai can fucking figure that shit out, man. It's not a hard contract to figure out. But I think I just saw him on the list. I was like, damn, he's a free agent. Like I know he's hurt, but anyway, I'm gonna stop complaining and stop talking about these dudes. I could do it for hours on end. One, to just recap everything, get everyone up to speed. We haven't really recorded since the emergency podcast dropped. Weirdly enough, the whole Deshaun Watson saga, like 3 episodes were recorded on Deshaun Watson when Ryan and I was talking about the potential of the Saints trading for him, have been like our 3 biggest podcast episodes.
Yes.
The emergency episode alone did pretty much 2,500 downloads / listens.
Yeah.
Which is wild. So we appreciate everyone. We appreciate people who have been supporting us for the longest time, people who continue to support us, new people who are supporting us. We received like a rash of new Patreon members, which is amazing.
Yes.
So we really appreciate everyone sticking in there with us, and we're happy that we can continue to put out content Saints related and do this episode. So, and luckily, at least my mentions have calmed down a little bit. I don't know if yours have, but luckily mine have calmed down a little bit with this whole saga and everything. And so we'll be back maybe this week if there's something for us to talk about this week. If not, we'll be back next week talking about the Saints. Oh, one other thing. I did reach out to Tony Pauline of the Pro Football Network. He has agreed to come on to the podcast prior to the draft so we can talk about the draft with him. We don't know exactly when that's going to take place yet, but Tony Pauline has agreed to come onto the show. That's kind of like our annual thing. The first pod episode we ever did, we did it with Tony Pauline, so we kind of just do it as kind of like a tradition here going forward. But anyhow, thank you, everyone. We appreciate y'all. Hang in there. Be good. Be safe. We're out.
Peace.
O'Reilly. You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.